Hello, World Wide Web. Anyone tuning in to this Facebook Live chat interview with good friends Jacqui and Bobby Angel. My name is Bill Donahue from the Theology of the Body Institute. And let's cut to the chase. Jacqui and Bobby are happily married and expecting their third child literally today.
Literally today, yeah.
And they've made time to do a Facebook Live interview. Wow, that's dedication. Well, Bobby and Jacqui, it's been a grace over the years seeing you guys and your relationship grow and your marriage and your belly, Jacqui, 3 times over with new life. I know the backstory. I know who you are, but some of our viewers might not know who you are. So let's do a quick microwave, 30-second. This is Jacqui. This is Bobby, and talk about how you met. Wink, wink. Which is a shout out to the Theology of the Body Institute. But let's go, ladies first. Jacqui Francois Angel. Who are you? What is your center?
I'm a child of God. I am, but I'm from Orange County, California, and I am a traveling speaker and worship leader. And I've been doing that for 10 years now. I've been involved with youth ministry since I was like 18. So now I travel around the country, sometimes around the world, and talk to mostly high school youth, but we also get to talk to young adults at parish missions, and we talk together on theology of the body and all that good stuff.
Awesome. So, now I know that you're expecting today. You haven't traveled in a while, I'm sure. What was your last?
No, so I took a month before your due date. You're supposed to stop traveling, so I stopped flying in November. But yeah, today's the due date. We thought this kid would be here by now, but no, it's not yet. So
okay. And well, real quick, Jacqui, before Bobby steps in, do you know the baby's sex yet? Do you know?
Yeah. So we have 2 girls and this one's a boy. So we're very excited.
Oh my goodness. Did Bobby already buy a little plastic pipe set for the baby? Did he get a little plastic pipe already for the boy?
Balance will be brought to the force.
And all the princess dresses we'll get to have some Spider-Man, Captain America,
we'll give
Batman,
way to
Superman.
the heroes of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we brought Seth home, that first Halloween, he was a Hobbit. He was little Bilbo Baggins, and I was Gandalf. Awesome. So you've got elven princesses now.
I have 2 pipes downstairs. Girls commandeer, walk around the house with.
Yeah.
Jack.
Nice. So, Bobby, your little 30-second intro. Who are you? What is your center?
Who am I? Who am I? I looked in the back of a spoon, asking this question.
You have 30 seconds.
I know, you're wasting seconds,
Like
Bobby.
National Institute. So I hail from Florida, where all the weird news of the world comes from. And born and raised there. After college, was fighting off the call of the priesthood, went in to the seminary, not the cemetery, but the seminary for 3 years. And in that 3rd year, was really feeling the call to marriage. And in my prayer, was like, God, you make this loud and obvious. Give me a sign. Be blonde. Do whatever you want. Whatever you want, Lord. And in His humor and providence at the TOB Institute, Jacqui and I had met already, but we re-meet at a kind of a pivotal crossroads in my own discernment. And it was very evident this is my wife. And so I moved out to California, as any rational man would do, and drive across country for a lady. And did a novena to St. Joseph on the 9th day. A job at this all-boys high school. Servite opens up, and somehow the random Florida guy gets in. So I've been a campus minister and theology teacher I'm in my 6th year now at the school, and get to travel around and with Jacqui sometimes and play super dad here when she's away.
Awesome. Beautiful. Match made in heaven, literally. Temporarily at the Theology of the Body Institute. Bobby, it was awesome. When I first met you, you were in the seminary, and I remember having that soul search and talk and walk around Black Rock Retreat Center because my backstory was
doing your awful morning
sunrise
club.
Yeah. Viewers beware. If you take my course at the Theology of the Body Institute, you're going to get like 5 hours of sleep because we get up for the crack of dawn. But those were great.
In the morning, so
I'm like, Bill, can we talk? I just really want to. And he's like, sure, meet me at 6 a.m.
Hey, that's how I roll. Now, so Theology of the Body, I mean, it's just so awesome how it's been personally for you guys, this journey deeper into your faith, and literally through this place where we want to teach it, this is where you met. I mean, how cool is that? Some people meet in a bar or they meet online, met like on this retreat, studying something that would transform your life, right?
Right.
Now,
so we both went to the TOB. We both went separately for our first course. And then it was the same year. So I went in, I think, March, and then he went in June, right, with you.
Yep.
And then we met on TOB2 that, like, in January. And I just remember, like, being like, oh, wow, that guy's very handsome. And then being like, oh, he's a seminarian. Of course, Lord. Of course he is, you know. And so we just became friends. And yeah, and then for a year and a half, we just, kept contact maybe once every 4 months. We would text saying, hey, pray for me. I have something, whatever. But I just remember thinking, because, you know, girls always think about their future husband, like, have I met him yet? Have I not? And anytime I think about Bobby, I'd be like, no, like, there's no way, and no way would my last name be Angel. Like, yeah, right. Like, ever. So that was not even a possibility. It was just too funny. Like, no way. But I remember meeting him the first week. And after that first week, I came home and told my best friend, I said, you know what? If I could marry any guy on this earth, it'd be a guy like Bobby Angel. Like, that's the kind of personality. Like, he's funny, he's humble, good look, you know, like that. At least, like, I had this, like, okay, well, here's like this. Do you have a beard? Okay. I had this at least, like, idea now, like, okay, Lord, you've given me a guy who, this is the kind of guy I want to marry.
Wow.
But in my mind, there was no possibility whatsoever. So we re-met a year and a half later at the course that Peter Craiff taught.
Oh, yeah.
And again, it was, this was a point in Bobby's journey at the end of his third year of seminary where he was, like, feeling the call to marriage, and we just re-met, and it was so weird. Like, in that week, it
was very clear.
It was clear, like, this is so strange. Like, all of a sudden, this guy who's been my friend, like, not even a possibility. Like, it was like, huh.
Well, and God's timing. Like, you read in the Song of Songs, do not stir up love before it's time.
That's right.
How often we grasp and how often we try to make a relationship happen when it's not God's timing. And it was just years of discernment and years of gray hairs, vocational gray hairs, I call them, wondering what does God want from me in my 20s? And all of a sudden it was like, now you're ready. Wow. Now you're ready to receive this. And it was just so easy. It was like, man, God, why did I fight you for so long?
Yeah. You know, that's incredible. And again, Bobby, on that first walk, I shared with you a similar story of being in the seminary and discerning out and later discerning marriage. But I think you touch on something important for the viewers to tap into. The whole discernment, it's got to be this raw, open kind of wound or ache for a while. And Jacqui, you felt it too. Like, man, it would be him, but it can't be. And I think the Lord is telling you just, again, it's don't stir up love before it's time. Trust me, wait, be patient. And I think you gotta let the wounds kind of speak a little bit and just give them that air, and God fills them in ways you'd never imagine. I mean, Jacqui, you know, you had a cool stage name already, Jacqui Francois, for your music. Now Jacqui Angel. You couldn't plan it. It's just so
no.
Now
and you know, I had learned being a nun when I was in college, and I went on, like, come and see things, and I just remember feeling like, okay, Lord, I could be a nun, but I don't think you're calling me to be one. So I need to marry a guy who could be a priest, but is not called to be one. Like, I need a guy who, I'm a strong woman. I'm like, I don't want to marry a guy who, like, I'm dragging along in my faith. Like, he needs to be a man who also loves daily mass and loves Mary and loves the liturgy, that, like, loves, you know, that has a prayer life that we are on this journey together. And so it was just funny. And ironically, like, 4 guys I dated went into seminary after I dated them. So I jokingly said to God, I was like, God, I gave you 4. I deserve 1 back, you know, but I was kidding. And God was like, oh, well, I have a better sense of humor than you do. So I just laughed at, like, God's sense of humor and timing, and that it wasn't something we were, it just kind of, you know, God made it happen the way he did it. It was just amazing, and his timing is better than our own. So,
you know, what's cool too is that you have the aching, longing question, and you're asking, but at the same time, you're very specific too with what you desire. God says, "I'll give you the desires of your heart." I think it's cool to articulate it and to get down to the details, because He does He does love it. They say the devil's in the details, but God's in the details, right?
Mother Teresa said be specific when you pray. So I was specific. I wrote in a journal like everything I wanted in a husband, because I dated a lot. Like I'd gone on dates or dated guys, and I was just like, ugh. Like I always, like I'm always, as the Catholic, I'm always starting the date with, "What do you think about NFP?"
It's a great opener, icebreaker.
Right. I know. I'm like, I don't want to waste my time. My time is valuable. Your time is valuable. Like, let's not waste our time here.
NFP, Just War, any of the light subjects.
Right. Church. Stem cell research. Cut to the chase.
To me, the theology of the body, and to have that foundation already, like you don't even have to wonder.
We met at this night, this time devoted to John Paul's teaching. So it's like, we're probably on the same page about some things.
Yeah.
Probably 99.9%. Now, there's been a ton of fruitfulness for you. By the way, if you're just tuning in, viewing to our interview here, I'm with Jacqui Francois Angel and Bobby Angel, amazing young dynamic Catholic family, mommy and daddy, and spreading the good word. Theology of the Body has been formative in their life, and they are trying to bring that through their very life into the world through work as a teacher, campus minister, musician, retreat leader. And they've been friends for years, and it's just so awesome to see the fruitfulness in your family growing. Again, Jacqui is due today. This could be the first Facebook live birth ever.
We'll stay on camera. Don't tempt us.
Right?
Yeah.
We say TOB or TMI. That might be TMI. So you'll have to rush to the hospital. Now, there's been a beautiful gift of children, but before we get to the kiddos, I want to talk about your book. And I had the real privilege of getting to read it before it went to print. So talk about Forever, this amazing devotional for married couples.
So we were mulling over the idea of a book, and Pauline Books and Media actually approached us with the idea of doing a marriage devotional, and based on TOB, and kind of taking you through like a short daily reflection each day that a couple can do together. And it just totally lined up, and they were very supportive and very wanting our voice to come through, our design choices and the aesthetic to come through. And it just was really a blessed project. And so it's out now. It looks great. They chopped our heads off. Which, they
did. I noticed that.
It's actually our wedding photo on the cover with our, we're cropped. My students are, it's all boys, so they're like, Mr. Angel, why can't they crop right? Like,
no, it was our photographer who did it. But yeah, so Pauline was very smart in saying, like, there are a lot of Protestant devotionals out there for married couples, but there aren't a lot of Catholic ones at all. And especially like a 6-week devotional where every day,
with the modern attention span, it needs to be short. It needs to be like quick if you're a frazzled parent, but it just gives some structure. And if you know TOB well, hopefully you'll get some new gems and stories out of it. But if you've never heard of it in your life, it's not going to scare you off. We tried to write it in a way you could give it to anyone in the pew, maybe a couple who's engaged, someone who's been away from the church, and hopefully it can, in simple way, reintroduce them to the gospel. Like, this is a love story. This is God's love story. Like, we're not going to jump into like with the rules, like, because that's not what it's about. But it's about being a love that's free, a love that is making you fully alive. And we try to take it through that narrative and that lens. And we're pretty stoked with the final result.
Yeah, you did a beautiful job. And again, you gave the personal witness of married life, and you showed how it's this universal template that God uses to teach us about his love, spousal love. So tell people where they can find it.
They can go to pauline.org, or even on amazon.com. They can type in Forever Catholic Devotional for Your Marriage. So.
Awesome. So that's Jacqui and Bobby.
It's her name, and it comes right up. And Bill, you wrote the foreword, which was...
I did.
What the? I don't know how that happens. For me, it's such a God moment of being full circle. You, who were my first professor at the Institute, to watch the journey unfold. And then I knew you were doing it, but I forgot along the way, because the editing process is back and forth and back and forth and back. And you're just tired of your own at some point. And then I saw the final thing, and it was a God moment for me, where it was like, yeah, this guy who helped shepherd me deeper into the teachings is now the one that, and has watched both of us grow and relationship come together, you're the guy that opens up the book. So,
oh my gosh, hey, cheers. Let's do a virtual cheers.
Bobby actually has whiskey in that right
now. I have to say it was a total privilege. What a grace to see it all happen. But we're all just riding this beautiful wave of the theology of the body. Myself, Rebecca, and our 4 kiddos. You guys expecting your 3rd now. Let's transition. Live in family life. Live in mommyhood and daddyhood. It's the real deal. This is where theology of the body gets into the body. Just what have you guys, and you're on, how old is Abigail right now?
She is 3.5.
Okay. So,
and then Bailey will be 2 in February, and then this kid's due today.
And then
but we joke that if anyone's discerning celibacy, they should come over to our house and see if that'll affirm their call.
It's raw and real, but just how, knowing theology of the body, being formed in it before you were married and then being married, it really is this eye-opening thing. It's literally a school of holiness, right? So what kind of stuff where have you seen connections with content of theology of the body and the raw day-to-day as being a mommy and daddy? What kind of stuff has the Lord been sort of teaching you through that lens of TOB and being mom and dad?
I'd say exactly what you just said, in that instead of being tempted to look at this little mutant and their tantrum that I'm experiencing as a burden, as a shackle on my freedom, as I can't look at that as that's the means of your holiness, your sanctification. That the diaper is not in the way of your holiness; it's through the diaper, if you will. It's through. It's
beautiful, Bobby.
Just roll. Ponder that. Let's sit with that image.
Through the diaper to God. Love it.
It's through these moments you want to, put them up for sale and head for the hills. That it's because then again through that comes this deeper love, and I love you no matter what, even though I'm watching you and you're craziest. And I feel I just feel like we imagine God's love and love as a father, but I feel like it's really impossible to fully. You just get a better glimpse of it when you actually become a parent, right? And you look at your kid and you realize what unconditional love is in all of our fallenness and how we execute it. But if this is just a microcosm of how God sees us, it's
and I think that being the self gift, the gift of self, it would have been so much easier for me. I'm such a selfish personality. I just want people to serve me. I would love to be a princess and have people cook for me and do,
we've been watching The Crown.
Yeah, we've been watching The Crown. I'm like, oh, I should be a princess, right? But that's my personality. Is I'm so selfish, and so actually married life. Some people, the marriage part is the harder part. Marriage has been easy because Bobby's personality. I feel like I don't know. It hasn't been we've had to learn how to communicate and fight and all that stuff. But he makes marriage easy. For me, it's been. Becoming a mom, I've really had to learn how to be a servant heart, how to be a gift. And I think I had this realization when Mary said, behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. She's literally saying behold, I am the servant of the Lord. And that the Lord is her baby, she's a servant to her children, her child. And I am that. I have to learn how to be a servant heart to my own kids, and that's a way of prayer. Mother Teresa said it too. She said, we think when St. Paul says pray without ceasing that we have to be on our knees or be at mass all the time or in adoration. She's like, but every piece of clothing that you fold is an act of love. Every diaper you change is an act of love. Every dish you wash. And I'm a terrible homemaker. I hate doing laundry and all that stuff, but every single thing is an act of love. And I have to learn how to be a gift. I've learned that every meal I make, this is an act of love. And I'm being stretched as a mom because I'm learning how to not be selfish anymore. We could have easily, if we weren't Catholic, we could have used contraception for 10 years and not had kids. Because we're well, let's just travel around the world. Let's just be our own, because we love being married to each other and love traveling, and we're best friends. But having kids is it's something so beautiful. And again, it's deepening our holiness and stretching us to be better human beings,
Awesome. This is my Facebook Live interview here with Jacqui and Bobby Angel, who are evangelists and proclaimers of the beauty of the faith and theology of the body in their own unique ways, as musician, as campus minister and teacher, but mostly, as we're saying here, as mommy and daddy, because that's where it all happens, right? Pope Benedict has that awesome line that the blueprints of humanity are handed on through the family. I love it. And I feel like the same, I'm on that journey as an older fellow, cue the gray beard, but with 4 little ones.
Wisdom, Bill. It's wisdom.
Wisdom, thank you. The wisdom figure. That Rebecca and I, family life, I mean, you can become a saint in like 10 minutes if you open yourself to it in family life. Literally, you could become purified in 10 minutes. I'm still working on that. But it starts to show you, like, you realize once you're married and you have the kiddos who call you out of yourself, you're like, I never realized how selfish I was. I never realized how patient and controlling I was. I'm a cranky dude. I never knew it. Thank you, children, for showing me my true self. But I think, living it as we are right now in the culture with sometimes just overload selfishness and the me generation, this is the antidote. You don't want a society of selfish, me-centered people. You want people who've been broken by self-giving love, who've been honed in patience, and then, we're going to have an awesome society, right? So these babies are helping us. Keep telling yourself that. These babies are helping us. New baby is helping me.
more baby. And it's just true. It's like you think you're so patient or so whatever. And it's funny because Bobby, I have never seen Bobby does not get angry. He's just like a very mildly mannered person. But like there was one time we were on a plane ride with our first child, and I was like, we both wanted to throw her off the plane. We were like, or just
put her in the bag.
Yeah, just put her in the cargo holder, like the whatever. But I've never seen Bobby get so like riled up. But it's like you learn through parenthood if you don't learn it through marriage, like your own weaknesses and whatever, you definitely learn it through being a parent. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like the goal of parenting is to become evenly keeled. Like even when your kids are like screaming and throwing tantrums, it's like learning. I'm not there yet.
Can you be virtuous?
Yeah.
Yes.
Poop on the wall.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think, it's a saint-making machine. It really is a saint-making machine for all involved. Now, final words. You guys have been awesome. You give me bonus time here with this interview. Millennials might be tuning in who might be thinking, geez, I'm reconsidering marriage. It sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like a lot of pain. What do you want to say to someone tuning in, maybe who's just drifting by and found this? What do you want to say to them about this vocation of marriage and family and theology of the body? Like, what would be your word to a millennial who's like, a little scared?
Just go all in. Just go all in, because I think we're in such as you said, we've been raised with this kind of me narrative, and I want to be comfortable and it's on my terms. I want to keep all options open. I always want to have one foot out the door, because what if somebody else comes along? And that is just, you're going to live your life in fear. This alternative of we're just going to live together and never really commit. We're never going to have kids. We're never going to be stretched. We're never going to let God have room to move. Is, that's an impoverished worldview. And I think the saints, those of us trying to teach in the new evangelization, we have to go all in to our own holiness, to our own vocations. It makes demands on you, but that's how love is formed. That's how real love is formed, in this crucible of you pouring all yourself into it. And Jesus doesn't give half of himself on the cross. He gives all of himself.
Amen.
And that's our model.
Beautiful.
We have be not afraid. I think over and over and over, what John Paul did for me was get me out of myself.
Yeah.
In any ways I was afraid to follow the Lord. Anyways I was afraid to come out of my comfort zone.
Wow.
Be not afraid.
Yeah, and I would add to that, in Gaudium says that we quote that all the time, like we only find yourself in becoming a sincere gift of self. And I will say that marriage, I love talking about marriage and marriage. I wish we could do marriage prep. I'm like, listen, if you marry the right person, because, oh my gosh, marrying Bobby makes parenthood so much easier because he makes me laugh. We can laugh through our children nuts and crazy, and we're like, I want to sell them on Craigslist today. We
Etsy.
Etsy, because we made them. So we call them on Etsy. But basically, being married to a person who, again, has the same vision as you, their goal is to get you to heaven. But one of my top things, like, I have to have my husband, we have to have the same sense of humor, because I need to be able to laugh through life, and we are able to laugh through parenthood. I mean, some of the most crazy situations. So I think it can be so beautiful, this whole craziness of life, but becoming a sincere gift of yourself, coming out of yourself when it's with the person that, again, like when God calls you to a marriage and you don't just call yourself to it. So much fruit is born from that, physically and spiritually. And I like, Bobby's my best friend, and I love going through life with him. And so for me, he makes life, I mean, sometimes harder, but mostly easier.
There it is.
The whole parenthood thing, it's like, yeah, toddlers are nuts, but
when it's the right teammate, is what I tell people too, is I was never afraid of raising kids with Jacqui, because I knew, like, we're on the same team.
Awesome.
And we've discerned this right, and we'll handle it, whatever comes our way.
Awesome.
So there wasn't a posture of fear towards it, whether it's one or the Honda Odyssey seat 6. So
8 total. So
one on the roof. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, our Toyota Sienna is maxed out right now, almost maxed out. There's a lot.
Sir.
Well, Jacqui and Bobby, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. You made my day with this awesome interview. I'm pumped up as a husband and daddy to get home and get busy with the kiddos and have fun and just waste time with our families. That's the key, right?
Yep.
That we just be present, be with them. So God bless you both in your work, in your ministry, in your mommy and daddyhood. And Jacqui, I really hope that you have this baby today.
Yeah, me too.
Amen.
It's a good day. It's a good day.
Because as you know, the Schoolhouse Rock song is 3 is the magic number, right?
3 is the magic number.
Bobby's having a revelation. All right, so Jacqui Francois Angel, people can find you on Facebook at Jacqui Francois and find your music ministry, right?
Yeah, I think it's facebook.com/Jacqui Francois Music is like the fan page. And then we're both on Instagram. Bobby has an Instagram.
Okay.
But
Jacqui, want to say hi?
JacquiandBobby.com. We put up blogs and videos and.
Awesome. JacquiandBobby.com. And your book, Forever. Hello, little one. Hello, Abigail. You had the photo bomb.
You want a horsey merry-go-round?
We all do, Abby. We all do.
I love it. So people should check out your book, Forever, A Catholic Devotional for Marriage. We're talking fast now because the kids are here. We have to hurry up and end this interview. God bless you.
Amazon, look up Forever Catholic Devotional.
Okay, awesome. All right. Have fun. Have a great day, guys. Thanks again.